Hey everyone, it's Dave here. Today I'm going to walk you through a quick setup guide to install and configure the SLZB-06 Zigbee Coordinator for Home Assist. We're also going to walk you through all the prerequisites to get you started. Right, let's dive in. The devices you're going to need is the SLZB-06 Zigbee Coordinator, which is this, and you're going to need a power source. Now, if you happen to have a fancy network switch, it may support PoE, which is power over Ethernet, but there's a good chance you're probably using the standard modem router given to you by your internet provider, which won't support it. So you can use one of these USB-C cables and just plug it into the USB-C port to generate power. A third option is if you happen to have one of these, which is a power over Ethernet injector. I'll show you how to connect each of these power options later in the video, so stay tuned for that. Now let's move on to installing the required prerequisite add-ons. We'll start with File Editor. So click on Settings, then scroll down and look for Add-ons. Then click on Add-on Store. Then in a search, just do a search for File Editor, click on that, and then you're going to click Install and just wait for it to go through its processes, and then make sure Start on Boot is selected, and also make sure Watchdog is selected. That basically just means if it crashes it restarts. And I'd also add it to the sidebar. If you check that, you'll see then you've got a little shortcut in your sidebar and it just enables ease of use. And then just click Start. And there you are. Next we're going to install the MQTT broker, and just like we did for File Editor, we're going to go to the add-on store and then do a search for MQTT. And you'll see one called Mosquito Broker. Click on that, click Install, and just wait for it to go through its processes again. And again, make sure Start on Boot is checked, make sure Watchdog is checked, and then just click Start. And there we are, we've got Mosquito Broker running as well. Now let's install Zigbee to MQTT. Again, go to the add-on store, but this time we're going to click on those three dots on the top right, and we're going to go to repositories. And then from here, we're going to copy the following link. And then just click Add. And then close. If you don't do that, you won't be able to search for it under here. So now we're going to search for Zigbee for MQTT. We're now going to search for Zigbee to MQTT, and you're going to see three options here. We're going to choose the one on the left, which is just Zigbee to MQTT. Click on that. Then you're going to click Install. And again, just wait for it to finish running. And make sure Start on Boot is enabled. Turn on Watchdog. And again, also add Show in Sidebar, just so you've got it for ease of use. And click Start and wait for it to load up. And there we are, that's installed. Now, if you're using a more fancy network switch that does support PoE, it would just be a matter of connecting this wire to the switch, and then that wire would just go into the Ethernet port of the Zigbee Coordinator. Now, because mine doesn't support it, there's no sign of life, so you can't see any LEDs going on here, and you can't see any sign of power. So for me, I've either got to use a PoE injector or that USB-C to connect into it. So if you're going to use the USB cable for power, that just goes into the USB-C port, and then the Ethernet cable just goes to one of your switches, which is just connecting there. You can see that's working because the LEDs are turning on. And if I just turn this around, you can also see the LEDs are on there. So that's one option for the power source, is just to use a USB-C cable that's got power, and then that just plugs into your switch. If you're going to be using a PoE injector, you can see you've got this cable here, just comes from the switch, follows all the way down, and it goes into the input sections. There should be a bit of a, right in there you can see that says LAN in, and then there'll be another bit where it just says out. You can just about, you may not be able to read this, but that says data out, and then that data out is what goes to the Zigbee Coordinator, and you can see it's powered on because you can make out that LEDs lighting up. Now if I just turn it around, you can see those LEDs are actually turning on. So that's working if you wanted to go down the route of using a PoE injector. Now that you've physically connected the Zigbee Coordinator, the next step you're going to need to do is obtain the IP address and set up a DHCP reservation from the home router. This is critical to have the same IP for a stable setup. Unfortunately, I can't show you how to do this due to the manufacturers having different menus and settings to go through, so you're going to have to refer to their own manual. Once you've completed this step, you can then proceed to the next part of the video. Now that we've got the IP address of a Zigbee Coordinator, let's head over to the web interface, open a browser and type in the IP address. It's going to take you to a page like this dashboard here, and we're going to go to mode, make sure Zigbee Coordinator is checked and Ethernet connection is checked, then go to network, make sure DHCP status is checked, SLZB-06 and SLZB-06 From here you want to check Zigbee2MQTT, and you're just going to copy that to the clipboard, which is something we're going to paste into the configuration.yaml file. We're now going to go back to Home Assist, and this is the part where the file editor is going to be used. So we're going to click on that, and we're going to look to a folder called Zigbee2MQTT, and you're probably going to notice that folder doesn't exist yet, and the reason why is because you have to initially start that add-in for the folder to be generated. So I'm just going to go to add-ons, go into here, going to click start. It's going to fire up some errors in the logs, but don't worry about that. Now we're going to go back to file editor, and we're going to scroll down, and we can now see Zigbee2MQTT. So we're going to go into this. Now, just to make you aware, this is a different configuration.yaml. It's not the Home Assist one, it's the MQTT one, or the Zigbee2MQTT configuration.yaml. So you're going to click into there, and now we're going to paste what we copied to the clipboard. It's going to have a little error message here about duplication, and that's because you've got advanced here and you've also got advanced here. So I'm just going to cut this bit out, and I'm just going to paste it here and just remove that duplication advanced entry, and then I'm going to click save. Now I'm going to go back to the add-ons, back to the Zigbee2MQTT. I'm now going to start the add-on. This will take probably about 30 seconds before it works. If you try to open it too soon, it's going to say something like this, you know, whether you want to retry it. So we're just going to give it about 30 seconds, and then it should take you to the menu. Still firing up that message. We'll just give it a little bit longer. And now you can see it's taken me to the Zigbee2MQTT dashboard, where I can now start pairing devices. To add a new device, you're just going to click that permit to join button, and it gives you about a 4-minute window to add something or go into discovery. So I'm just going to put this device I've got in front of me into pairing mode. So the next sort of 10 seconds something should come up, which you can see it has. So it's just detected a new device, and then this will take about 30 seconds just to go through its cycle. Okay, you can see it's now finished, and we're just going to give it a slightly more friendlier name. So I'm just going to scroll down, click on that rename device button. This is actually a door sensor, so I'm just going to call it test door sensor, rename device. And if I go to the exposes tab and I just join and disconnect the magnet, you can see the contact is going from closed. It's closed when it's touching, and then when I move it, it goes to open. So you can see that's been successfully added and it's working. And that's it. You've successfully configured your Zigbee coordinator in Home Assist. If you found that video helpful, smash the like button and subscribe to receive more smart home tutorials. Bye for now.